Welcome back to Mtoto News Insights. Before we took a break, I had highlighted on the topic that we are to discuss on mental health, on our main focus being suicide. So as you can see, I have my panel of journalists trained under Mtoto News and also KCA representatives. So I'm going to let my panel to introduce themselves. I can start with you maybe.
Okay, thank you so much, Omar. My name is Brian King, a trained journalist of Mtoto News, as well as mental health advocate.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. My name is Doreen Kakai, Deputy Chairperson at Kibra Sub-County.
Kibra Sub-County. Wow, thank you so much. And you're also a trained journalist at Mtoto News.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes.
My name is Evans Otieno and I am the chairperson of Kibra Sub-County and I am a trained journalist at Mtoto News.
Karibu sana. Karibuni sana hapa Mtoto News Insights. So today we are talking about mental health, and we are also talking about our main focus being on suicide following the story that we had highlighted earlier on the politician's child who had killed himself, and the main cause most likely might be mental health. So Brian, if I can start with you, what do you think, what is mental health?
Okay, according to me, mental health is basically the psychological well-being of a person, psychological as well as social. By psychological, I mean how the person feels inside, his emotions, and how he believes he's feeling. By the social aspect is how the person relates with other people as well. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Doreen,
Yes.
What do you think mental health is?
Okay, so to me, I think mental health is something that affects the children, and it is caused by anxiety or the emotions what the child is feeling, and maybe what he or she is undergoing at home.
Thank you so much. Yes, Evans, what maybe according to you as a child, what do you think mental health is?
To me, mental health is something that is, let me use a good language.
Yeah, you can use any language. So
Inasumbua watoto, as in children, it's about just their feelings, what they feel. Yes.
So I think the main thing that's coming out is that it's affecting them, it's mental health,
yeah.
Feelings. It's affecting them emotionally, mentally, and also their behavioral well-being, and also psychologically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I can come back to you, Brian, and then the rest, what causes this type of situation, or what causes mental health?
I think mental health is, I cannot really say it's caused by one thing, you see,
Yeah.
because it's a process in life. It will occur. It's how the body deals with its emotions. Okay, mental health is basically like your physical body health. Okay, sooner or later you're gonna get sick, right? And so you will need to get treatments. You know, that is the reason. I think that is the major cost of mental illnesses. The reason is because we don't take care of them as soon as we feel them. Okay. Depression, anxiety, even some people might call themselves introverts, but it's a simple way of saying they don't want to relate with people, they don't want to express their problems with people. So I think the main cause of mental illnesses, according to me, is not talking about it and not getting the correct treatment.
Thank you so much for mentioning that, for not talking about it.
Yeah.
And maybe if I can go back to you, Evans, before this, or maybe before we mentioned the topic, were you aware about mental health as a child?
Yes.
You are aware. Thank you so much. So that means that it's kind of known by people.
It is known, but you see, we don't. Yes, we know it. We know it's there, but we're not dealing with it. It's there and it's there. It's a problem we can see, but we're not dealing with it.
Yeah, because I know there's sometimes that children may not know about this. So that's why I want to know if we do know about this. So you've mentioned that it's not caused by one thing. It's a broad topic, right?
It is a very broad topic.
So maybe if I can come back to you, Doreen, what are the maybe signs and symptoms of someone who is suffering from mental health? He has mentioned something about being introverted. What maybe do you think when you see someone, you see this person is suffering from mental health?
So to me, maybe the child is lonely, he's not engaging with the other children, he's staying alone, and he often don't talk a lot with his friends or with her colleagues or his colleagues. And maybe the child feels like, if I talk about this thing, how will my fellow people take it? And so the child feels lonely and he doesn't want to talk about it, and he often likes staying alone, not trying to engage with the other children.
So when you see a child, maybe he's always staying by himself, he's trying to avoid himself with other people, sometimes you can say that something might actually
Yes, but you have to know that it is sometimes, because there are people where sometimes it is a visible symptom, but we also have natural introverted people, okay? People who just prefer to keep their own company. That does not mean they have a mental illness. And I think there's an attitude we also have. We believe that a mental illness is something bad. You're going crazy if you have a mental illness. No, I think we first of all have to deal with that as a problem, because you have to understand that a mental illness it's a simple illness, like catching a flu, okay? You can get depressed because of you lost a friend, someone who's close to you, right? Even a pet sometimes, okay? Or you even just got, life happens, okay? You might even lose a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you see? It happens.
So here we are talking in the perspective of kids, so we are saying that these things actually happen. And I understand that most of the time we usually spend our time in school. So I'm coming to you, Evans. Are schools doing enough to ensure that this issue is addressed?
No, because let's say children are in school, but when it's at break time, chairs are in the staff room doing their stuffs, all the things, but you might find some children are just staying lonely, don't want to talk with others, because example, you say a boy or a girl knows that he or she has a certain disease that is very bad, so he or she knows that if he said this in a crowd, the people will just not talk with him, not socialize with him, and just leave him or her stay lonely.
You see, today we are talking on the focus of it being of suicide, right?
Yes.
So I have some statistics here that state these are worldwide statistics. They estimate that 14.3% of deaths worldwide, or approximately 8 million deaths each year, are attributed to mental health. So I'm going to come back to you, Doreen, before I come to you, Brian. I want people to understand: is mental health a disease, or an illness, a situation that people are in?
Okay, so to me, mental health is not a disease. Why? Because, let me say, I have lost my close friend. It's something that I am going through in that season, in that particular season. So the more I get to talk to someone, the more I get help, it's the quicker I am gonna recover from that depression or something like that.
So, Brian, it is said that mental health on children is just a serious way on how children typically learn, behave, and handle their emotions. According to you, is this normal to children because how they're stating it?
Okay, Omar, I have to clarify something, okay? Mental health is simply how you deal with your social and psychological being, okay? Mental illnesses come as a result of you not dealing with your mental health, okay? You not taking care of your mental health, okay? So, yeah, mental health is very normal for kids. It's normal for all human beings, all ages, be it old or young, okay? So, yeah, I believe it is very normal.
Okay. Yeah. So, as we're starting the conversation, we mentioned about the David Olesankok's child who shot himself. So, what, according to you, Doreen, what do you think made such a child to do such a thing?
So, to me, maybe I can say lack of communication from the child to the parents, because maybe the parents assumed like, yeah, he's cool, he's okay, but maybe the child was going on through some difficult times, but the parents didn't take time to talk or get to know the child better, or maybe to ask what's wrong. And so that like the child was like, who am I gonna talk to? He never had someone to give his emotions out, and that maybe made the child feel he didn't know any option of how he can overcome the situation, and maybe that's one of the things that made him to do such thing.
Okay. Evans, maybe what do you think made such a child to do such a thing, like shooting himself?
According to me, I can say family issues, and the family issues, maybe you may find that something bad happened to maybe their relative, maybe their relative said a secret that the family does not want, and then again you might find that, let me use an example, when I was going to school, my father brought me everything new. So my pencil was stolen, but I was afraid to tell him because he would have first punished me because he have just brought it today. But so maybe something was happening.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, something was not going right, maybe in the house, maybe. Okay, thank you so much. Brian, I want to come back to you. What do you think now social services, NGOs, government institutions maybe should do to address this situation? Or what do you think now the community at large can do to help this situation?
Okay, as I said earlier, the solution is to talk about it, right? Let me ask you something, Omar.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Yes.
How many times does a normal person think about suicide in a day?
Like how
many times does a person not suffering from any mental illness think about suicide?
I don't think they do.
Yeah, zero, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing, because the more you don't talk about something, the more you think about it. Have you ever realized that? If you don't talk about something, you end up thinking about it more, okay? So the minute a thought about suicide pops up into your mind, you're supposed to be able to talk about someone, to someone, okay? Now you said something about social services, right? They're supposed to be providing counseling services, therapists or psychiatric help to every single child or adult citizen in Kenya, right? Now, do you know how much it is to hire a counselor, not even a therapist, a counselor for an hour? It costs around 7,000 Kenyan shillings.
Wow, that's
now in our current
expensive.
economy, imagine someone living in the suburbs, not even in the middle class families like the one that I'm from, cannot afford to hire a counselor for me to talk to when I'm dealing with my own things, okay? My parent is out almost 24/7, okay? I'm in school, she's at work. I'm sleeping, she comes back, she leaves before I wake up. You see, so who am I going to talk to? At school, as Evans had pointed out, during break times, the teachers are in staff room. During classes, they're not allowed to talk about anything other than their normal...
The lessons.
Yes, and when you are in school, did you ever attend life skill lessons, or did the teacher ever attend those lessons? And even if they did, they usually just talk about what they came to teach. They don't engage the students in matters of their own health. The school I was in, we had, I think, a counseling department, but I don't think we had anything to deal with at all, okay? Like the teachers were there, but they were just there to, you know, be the counseling department. So social services should definitely provide therapeutic services, counseling services. No, even they don't have to be for free. They can just lower the prices to the extreme much. Schools, because we're dealing with children, schools and churches and mosques should consider getting more than 2 counselors per school, okay? The ratio, you cannot say you have one counselor in a school that has 1,000 students. How are you supposed to balance that ratio? And again, the government should start teaching and showing kids that they can express themselves and their emotions from an early age. ECD centers, okay? Teachers should be taught that when a kid is feeling angry or sad or even too happy, they should be allowed to express their emotion in any way possible, be it crying.
Like the main thing I'm getting from what you're saying is that we should talk about it.
Talk about it from an early age to high school, that is ECD, to primary to high school.
All through. Thank you so much. Doreen,
Yes.
what do you think we should do? Brianna said, let's talk about it.
Okay, Brian has talked much. Okay, to me, let me say parents, the responsibility is, you see, as much as we are children are taking much of their time at school, also at home parents are there, right? And these incidents mostly occur when children are at home. So if parents get to talk to be friends to their children, it could have been much better. For example, if a parent gives you gifts and give you a reward in anything you do, okay, you will feel good about it, but you still don't get that confidence to talk to your parent. So if a parent can just take a time with his or her child and, like, my child, you know, give the child guidelines so that the child will feel free, like, this is my mom, I can talk anything to her, like my dad, I can do this with him. It will give the child more courage, like, Dad, I'm having this problem, can you help me? Mom, I need this and this. And the child won't go into any mental problems.
Thank you so much. Getting this from a child's perspective actually makes us feel like our country is in safe hands. Thank you so much, Doreen. Let me come to you, Evans. tufanye aje? What should we do to what should the government, community, wazazi, what should they do to ensure that this issue is addressed, this issue is sorted?
So according to me neza address hivi. Parents should be, yani wanatoka job mapema ndo pia kwenda job, at least wana address watoto, wanasema bye, have a nice, because unapata mzazi kuonana na mtoto wake ni siku amepewa off kazi. Juu mtoto let me use a good example, a reality. My friends tell me that yeye tangu tu hii mwaka ianze ameona mama yake mara 3 ati because juu sasa lazima akule, aishi, afanye nini tu hizo vitu zote, because lazima apate textbooks juu. So anasema mzazi wake anakujanga tu maybe holidays, kitu kama hiyo, na akipewa off hizo siku zingine yako job, anaishi tu huko, akuko tu ajui hata mamake anakaa aje, ameishi amekaa aje. So parents should, yani wanafaa wakoe na watoto sana, then counselors wanafaa waeke hadi counselors kwa shule, because if I look at this well, you can find that the teachers, some of the teachers, but not all, try to tell children that kulia si vizuri, but according to me I can say ku express emotions zako ni poa, juu usipo zi express, yani hata tuseme kama ulikuwa na deni na umekufa, watu wenye ulikuwa umewakopa sasa atakuja kudai, maybe tuseme mtoto wako, tuseme generation 2 itakuja tu, then wewe umewaambia umekopa. So kitu kama hiyo tunafaa tu express feelings zetu, but pia si kwa kila mtu. Then the government, what I can say the government should do, ipunguze as in cost ya wenye nini wanalipwa counselors, juu Kenya nafanya counselors wasipatikane kwa urahisi. Unapata tu wanalipwa tuseme 7,000 per hour. So a whole day unasema sasa 7,000 hizo pesa zote in just one day. Sasa wiki nzima unapata kuna vitu zinakumbwa watoto kwa shule, unasema lakini wanashindwa. Sasa au counselors at least hiyo ndo kenye naweza sema, because unapata mtu mwingine anataka mtoto wake yani afeel tu poa juu ya kuangi na mtoto wake most of the time, but inamshinda because haizi afford hiyo pesa.
So like you're saying the government inafai lower hiyo price ya counselors venye wanakuwa wana admit watu, si ndio? Alafu you've also talked about expressing your feelings. Well, thank you so much, Evans. Now I'm coming back to you, Brian. We are about to end the Total News Insights, so I need to get your parting shot.
Okay, thank you so much.
And also, as you finish, mention your age, so that viewers can know that you are getting this from a child's perspective.
Okay, I am a child. Okay, for my parting shot, I'd like to say I've talked about government and parents and institutions. Now to the children, just learn to talk about it, learn to express yourself. Okay, learn to say hi to your best friend and tell him how you're feeling. And if you don't have a best friend, get one, please. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert or not. Get someone to talk to, a teacher, a friend, a neighbor, a parent, a relative, just someone to talk to. And for my age, again, I am Brian King, a 17-year-old child, soon moving to 18, but currently at 17.
Yes. Thank you so much, Brian. Asante sana. Let's move on to you, Doreen. What can you tell a child who's out there who's suffering from mental health and maybe does not have any help?
Okay, so what I can tell my fellow childmate is that we go through these emotions. Yes, we feel bad. Yes, we get depressed, but keeping silent is not the alternative way to solve the problem. Look for someone, even if you don't know the person, but at least you feel relieved with what you feel. You feel like you've eased the burden. The power to talking has a good, it is what you feel, and it makes you feel relaxed. So if you just get someone to talk to, and you will sooner feel better and don't stay with what you feel. Yeah.
I also want to.
And I am 15 years old.
Yeah, 15 years old. Thank you so much. And you are still currently a student, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Evans, what can you tell that child who is going through something, is going through depression, anapitia mengi, anasumbuliwa maybe na shule, walimu? What can you tell this child?
For me, Kenya nataka kuambia hapo, wewe mwenye uko pale nje, wewe mwenye ni mamako, at least tafuta mwenye unza tulia hadi na parents wako, waambie Kenya, yani waambie tu feelings zako, hadi tafuta best friend, hata kukaa, yani hata kukaa hivyo vile uko peke yako, hata kukaa lonely, tafuta friends, socialize, because tuseme kama wewe ulikuwa unaishi kwa plot tu peke yako, uko peke yako, ama unaishi tu na watu but you don't talk with anyone, kujui wao wanajua tu wewe unaishingi hapo, then say useme ukikufa, then hawatajua what to do, because obviously first hata wakujui, hata wajui relatives wako, so ungewapea hata namba yako, but at least msocialize, hadi kama shule unasumbuliwa na marafiki zako, try to make good friends, because kuna friends wenye ukitafuta au friends but ni kama tu unatafuta shida juu kuna, yani make friends poa, choose good decision, ndo hadi ukikuwa kwa shida wanataka kusaidia. That's what I can advise you. And I am 10 years old.
Thank you so much, Evans. Yes, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I just forgot this. Let me say, if you don't have a close friend, maybe you can just look for something you like doing the most, like running, playing, just having fun.
A hobby, or just utilize your talent.
Get time for yourself. Do running, do jogging, do some craft that you love doing, and it will make you happy and relieved also.
Wow. Doreen's deterrent is actually a really good one. You actually running, according to psychology, or jogging actually helps you to calm your nerves, calm your if you have things like mental health, if you feel like you're depressed, these things actually help. But here at Mtoto News Insights, we are coming to the end of the program, right? Yes. And keep the conversation flowing about mental health on our social media platforms at Mtoto News, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also find me at all social media platforms at Omar Hamed 83. Let's talk about this. Let's ensure that we talk to these children who are still suffering. Let's ensure that you as a parent, if you have children, make sure you talk to them, because most of these children have actually said that parents need to talk to their children. In schools, let's try and form clubs whereby we talk to each other, whereby we as the children, we try and take over, we try and say that we want to ensure that everyone is at par, everyone is not suffering, no one is suffering, everyone is just at peace. But here from Mtoto News Insights, I want to say goodbye. I have been your host for this week, Omar Hamed. Goodbye.